Hey everyone. I apologize if this goes off prematurely. It's been known to do that. But, I've come on here several times in the past few years. And I've always talked about how I feel that the time has come for a female artist out there, up and coming, independent, well known, to kind of create that next music video that people will say it reminds them a lot of Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. It would remind them a lot because basically things are happening to the girl, to the woman as she's singing. Her face mainly is like the primary focus, and it's turning into different things. And they use different kind of art styles. Now I've mentioned throughout the years that I've come to discover that some female artists have been able to do that, or at least try and attempt that. Karen Giggs, or whatever her name is, with In Your Arms, was the closest I've seen, and several others I've seen through Vimeo. But today, after typing in the same kind of stuff I've typed in on Google, and then switching it up to things like pixel animation, stop motion, whatever, I came across a few discoveries. Now, one of the first discoveries I found was young juvenile youth or something like that. YJY is it called for short. It's kind of like a Japanese, kind of Asian-like group. I'm not really sure. And what I came across was one of the first songs. I think it came out this year. I looked at the date. It looks like it's very recent, back this summer, called Animation. Now, apparently they did another one, but it was more unofficial that you can only see on Vimeo. And it didn't really look like much. It just looked like, people taking video all over and just splicing it together as a music video. Now it looks like they are making an actual music video of it, but it hasn't been released yet. An official one, that is. But when I saw this music video called Animation, I was surprised at exactly what was going on, because I saw this, and as I watched it, I was like, this is exactly almost what I'm looking for. I mean, very similar in a way. It focused on the girl, the female singer's face, and her face was changing all over. She would have different, basically she would have her eyes she'd have eyes on the side of her face, additional mouth, part of her head would be taken off, and there'd be like a white mountain underneath. It'd be turned into that. Then her whole face turned into things with like horns and stuff, and it's like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Now again, I had seen other stuff as well. There were several ones I could think of. I can't think of the artist's name right now, but I've seen them on Vimeo. One was basically, if I remember right, was this girl. It was almost like she was a living animation, a living cartoon. Well, basically, she would, like little holes would pop up in her. She'd be all stretchy and elastic kind of stuff, and little holes would pop up. She'd be kind of like very liquid-like, but kind of, like I say, animation-wise with CGI, kind of like a CGI animation. But basically it was a real girl. It's just a lot of the stuff that was happening with her was done by CGI animation. The same with this, but what got me was this was exactly, in a sense, what I was looking for. This is exactly, almost, I should say, what I was looking for. Almost identical in several ways. Very identical. And then, as I keep looking, of course, as you know, they have these videos on the side that are related to what you're seeing. And one that stuck out to me was by an artist called Fka Twigs. And she's not just a female musician, singer. She's also a director, a very artistic director as well. And she even, from what I've read, looking up the information, she even directs her own videos, and you can kind of see that. And the one that I got attracted to was done about 9 months ago, called Platinum. Not Platinum, but it's not called Platinum, it's called Platinum, or something like that. Predulum, something like that. And I watched this, and just like with animation, I was like, kind of amazed. And I knew something was coming because while I was looking in the comments on the animation music video, a lot of people were saying that Young Justice Juvenile, YJY, seemed to be influenced by Bojack, B-G-R-O-K, Bojack, who is a very creative artist herself. In fact, some could say she was Lady Gaga before Lady Gaga. But very creative, and you can even see it in her music videos as well. I mean, heck, you got a freaking video where she does a duet with a male musician, and both the faces are nothing but little white dots representing stars, and at the end of it, the faces merge into one. Weird, right? And there are several others, like Cocoon and stuff like that. And even some of the newer stuff she's brought out, like that promotional video where she's like, you can tell it's CGI, but it's supposed to be plastered in silver across a rock, and all this purple gunk comes out and stuff and brings it to life. It's like, you know, to me, it's like, I hear, I look at this, and I was somebody outside, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, she's very artistic and very creative. And sometimes it's just my opinion, but I think in a sense, Bojack, Fka Twigs, Young Juvenile Youth, YJY, I think they all can contribute to individuals. Michael Jackson, of course, for his creativity, the late Michael Jackson for his creativity in his videos, because let's not deny it. You could have had a lot of creative videos in the 80s and 90s, and we did. But this guy took it to a whole new level. MJ's music videos were always like you were watching a mini-movie, a short film, if you know what I mean, like a featurette before a movie. That's how they felt. That's how they were presented. And then another, of course, as I've mentioned before, is Peter Gabriel and his creativity, especially if you look at Sledgehammer. And when I watch some of these videos, even Cara Greaves, the In Your Arms video, which is a record setting for a stop motion video using jelly beans, I look at this and then I look at these other two and I'm like, yeah, you could tell Bojack in her recent decade or so has become an influence with her artistic take, because you see it in her solo videos and stuff. But you could also tell, in a sense, they got inspired by not just what Michael had done, but also what Peter Gabriel had done. I look at Juvenile, Young, YJY, and I can say to myself, yeah, you got Bojack inspired there, but you could also tell she has inspiration from Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. I mean, not only does she split her face and all that in half, in multiple pieces, have the multiple mouths and all that, but turn her face into a different thing where it's like horns and stuff and then half it's gone. You could tell she got that, my opinion, from Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer, or at least from what she had seen from him. The same with Fka Twigs. When I saw Pluralum, I think that was the name, it's like, you could tell she's inspired in most of that video by what Bojack has done with hers, but when she gets submerged under this liquid, which is kind of CGI liquid, when she gets submerged under it, it's like it goes right up to her neck, and all of a sudden you see her singing, like you see her face, and it's like her whole body has become part of the liquid. It's like all that's left is her face, and it's moving along with it. It's like, damn, this girl's creative. And again, like I said, there's other people like Lottie 6, what she's done with the animated videos she did. I mean, a lot of these. Which always begs the question, has creativity, even from a fan's feedback, not just mine, but a lot of them, come back to really, not come back, but has been hurt? I mean, it's no secret, I've come out here on this channel, and I have said numerous times that the time has come for female artists to do their own version of Sledgehammer, whether it's a remake of the Sledgehammer song with a remake of the video, scene by scene, whatever, or it's their own song, and the video is very similar in many ways, with many scenes and stuff taken from Sledgehammer, but their own unique way. And when I see videos like what I've mentioned by artists that I've just talked about, it shows me that obviously feedback from myself, feedback from other fans that feel the same way, it's being heard. And it's not just our feedback, but apparently the artists that do this, they see that the opportunity is there. Today's technology allows things like this to happen. And it should be taken advantage of. You know, everybody complains that we've had enough CGI in movies and shows. Where's the traditional stuff? You know, where's the stuff that really makes you think, oh, it is CGI, but it's not. And it's still there. But when you have artists, singers, with a male, or in this case female, going out there and doing these kind of videos, CGI is required. Because sometimes if you want to really get the emphasis of what your music video, of what your song is talking about visually out there, CGI can offer that. It can. It really can. There's no doubt about it. And I still believe to this day, someone, whether it's Fka Twigs, Young Juvenile Youth, you know, whoever, Karen Gribbs, the one that did In Your Arms, which is probably the closest, along with these other two that I've mentioned, Lottie 6, or it's somebody new or somebody established. I still believe that someday we're going to get a female artist doing a music video, whether it's her own song or it's her take on Sledgehammer, and it's going to be a music video almost scene by scene, very similar, scene by scene, to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer. I truly believe that's going to happen, and it should happen, because the time is now. The time is right, the time is now for that to happen, because whether they're independent, up and coming, from another country or not, I believe as somebody that, you know, is fascinated by the artisticness of these music videos, that it can indeed happen. It can be done, and it will put whoever it is on the map. Heck, you know, even further the career of someone established. I mean, think about it this way. Katy Perry is known for doing some very artistic videos. Let's not deny that. She could be a prime candidate for someone that's established. There's no doubt. I'm sure if someone said, hey, would you like to do whatever song she comes out with next, I'm sure that if the director or whoever came up to her says, hey, you want to make this music video similar to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer music video? She'd probably be okay with it. Because even though it would be a different song, her own song or whatever, to do a video very similar, if not scene by scene, to Sledgehammer, I know someone like Katy Perry would go for it. I'm sure someone like Lady Gaga would even go for it. I mean, heck, that lady's also is as artistic as they come, weird or not. And I'm sure someone other out there could do it. I mean, heck, even if a director of Beyonce's next video was to come out and say, hey, Beyonce, you want to do one in Sledgehammer, the similar Peter Gabriel Sledgehammer, and she saw the details of how it was going to go, she'd probably do it. And again, this is the kind of stuff that could further their career, because at least they could say they got that out of the way, they got that under the belt. But, like I said, the time now is perfect for it to happen. And when I look at someone like Fka Twigs, I look at hers and I'm like, I look at her style. It's very artistic. Like I said, it's kind of similar in a sense that you can see she's got inspiration from Bojack. She's got inspiration from Michael Jackson, Peter Gabriel, when it comes to video style and certain videos. You can see that. You can see that. But you can also see that she blends it very well, because sometimes when I was checking out her videos, she does sometimes some of those normal R&B like videos that you normally occasionally see on MTV, or used to see on MTV, or you would see on BET, or VH1, or VH1 Classic. She does those kind of videos. It's a good blending, because it's not always the same, oh, what is she going to do now? What is she going to turn into now? What is she going to make her face? You know, it's not always that. It's a good blending. But the same could be said for a lot of people that I've mentioned, even past and present. So to me, I believe, and I know I sound like a broken record, the time is now. 2015 is almost over. And as soon as we get into 2016, I think that'd be the perfect opportunity for someone either established, someone independent, someone virtually unknown because maybe they're mostly in the UK or Japan or whatever, or China or whatever. The time to me is perfect. The timing is perfect. The opportunity is right there in front of them. And I know some people might say, well, it's up to them. Heck, I had somebody, can't think of his name right now, but obviously he's very well known in Los Angeles for his artistic artwork, for his directing, for artistic material, animation, stop motion, whatever. He retweeted one of my videos where I was talking about the subject that I'm talking about now. He retweeted it. And I think it was a video where I basically said the time is now. I basically mentioned very similar to what I'm saying now. He retweeted that. And I even did a video on it. And for someone like that to retweet something that I was talking about, it shows they have a vested interest in what I mean. To me, I look at, everybody, and even to this day, everybody looks at Peter Gabriel and what he did with Sledgehammer as the standard bearer of artistic music videos of how far you can go. And this was at a time when there was no CGI really used. It was mostly all stop motion. But again, he set the standard bearer for what could be. Michael Jackson set the bar so high for what you could do for the music video that people like Lady Gaga, Beyonce, even Katy Perry, and many others have tried to achieve that bar, tried to reach that bar, but they can't because he set that standard. But when it comes to the kind of music videos from an artistic standpoint, right, basically to where when you're watching the person singing, they get turned in during the song. They turn into different things from an artistic standpoint. That's just Peter Gabriel set the standard bearer. And I believe in my opinion, I believe a lot of female artists and male artists are trying to achieve that. But I think the time is now for the women musicians, the women singers out there, to take that opportunity and create a video very similar to Sledgehammer, even if it's with their own song. And those that I've mentioned here can do it, and they know it. They know it without a fact. They can do it. But it's up to them. I mean, think about it. Think about it this way. If you're a fan of Fka Twigs, and the next video that she makes comes out, and it's very similar to Sledgehammer, to Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer in many ways, don't tell me you wouldn't be impressed. You would be. But to me, the opportunity presents itself right here and now. But will it be taken? Will they achieve it? Will they take that opportunity, think about it, and say, you know what, let's get this done, see how the fans react. Because I guarantee you that's what it's going to be about, how the fans will react. And I believe the fans will react, whoever the person is, whoever the lady is, I believe the fans will react in a very positive way. In fact, you'll have people critics coming out and probably praising the artistic nature of the video. And yeah, they'll probably say, it's like Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer all over again because everything seems similar. Because you have this female artist her face turning into different things, or even her body turning into different things. And people would enjoy it. You would get that praise. I just think the time